Yeah, you are welcome. About the issue of Blord and Ratel. Now, can you trademark a name somebody else is using but did not trademark? That's a question we have to ask ourselves before we begin to panic that Blord has started again. So the Ratel have not to, we don't have to panic. For Blord to trademark Ratel is crucial to him. He knew what he's doing. It is just for protecting his brands. He wanted to be identified with the name Ratel because he knew he had lost his business identity. So he was now looking for one way or the other to retrieve his business. So he decided to use Ratel, in which he knew that there is a movement called Ratel, championed by what? By VDM. And we all know what he has been doing for the past few weeks. Looking for one way or the other to revive his brands back. Now, understanding trademark. So, what does it really mean about this trademark? A trademark is more than just a name or a logo. It acts as a valuable legal shield, differentiating your business products or services from others and protecting your brand identity from misuse. So that is what Blord is trying to do. He was trying to protect his brand so that people will be identified with him, because we all know how controversial the app he has been creating from the onset. So he was now looking for one way or the other to renew or to rebrand all those identity he has lost. So what is the importance of trademark? Number one, they build customer trust, association, and loyalty. So Blord wanted to build his customers' trust, association, and loyalty with the name Ratel. He knew how much people trusted VDM. He knew that Ratel movement is a movement that people trusted. People are following, people were joining here and there. So he was now looking for customers' trust because people are no more trusting him. So he was now looking for one way or the other to be identified with that name for customers' trust. Number two, importance of trademark. They safeguard your reputation and business investment. So Blord is trying to safeguard his reputation again. Because you know what has happened in the past, some of his reputation has been tainted. Then he was now looking for one way or the other to revive, to safeguard his reputation and business investments so that people will also patronize him. Then number three, they give you the legal footing to prevent others from profiting from your brand's success. Because Blord knew that there is no way, if you are a Ratel or you have a brand called Ratel, and everybody knew that Ratel is identified with VDM, there is no other person who can come and do what? Scam you. Even though when they do it, they will learn in the hard way. So that is what Blord is trying to do. He was now using that name because he knew the importance of that name and the importance of trademark. Now he joined the two together so that he wanted to protect every of his profits in a legal way so that people will not come and scam him with that name. Then trademark rights, common law. Then when you now look at this trademark rights, common law, although I'm not a legal practitioner, I'm not a lawyer. Then the first one is that the first to use principle First to use principle. What does that mean? This means actual use of a name in commerce establishes rights, even if the name is not federally registered. First to use. So it means even though when you are bearing a name or you have a name that you have not been registered, and another person come for it to register that name, because you are the first person to use that name, you have the right on that name. Then number two, another one is that if a business or individual uses a name for their goods or services, they can establish what is called common law rights. And this is what I'm talking about. These rights are automatic from the moment the name is used publicly. So it means Ratel movement, which was initiated by VDM, is automatically what? Established, even without a registered trademark. So people already knew it in Nigeria. So whosoever that comes and said he want to trademark the name like what Blord did is just wasting his time. But the only problem of this law is that this law limits the protection, because you cannot use it in a different part. So as far that you have, because it is Nigeria and it is global, so Ratel is everywhere. So Blord is just trying to identify himself with the word Ratel because he knew the importance of that name. So that is why I said let me just come and put mouth on this issue of Blord and Ratel. So Ratel, so we should not be panic. We should not be panic at all about what he has been doing or he has been saying. Peace and love. Don't play.